Welcome. Hello. How you doing this lovely afternoon? It's time for our Luke reading. We don't usually do a video on Saturday, but I said I would read Luke 16 today, and we'll read 17 tomorrow here on God's Love Live, because we're reading a chapter of Luke each day right up till Christmas Eve. Right up till Christmas Eve, and we will have read the entirety of the story of the life of Christ as told by Luke in the month of December. So Luke 16, Jesus told his disciples there was a rich man whose manager was accused of wasting his possessions. So he called him in and asked him, "What is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management, because you cannot be manager any longer." The manager said to himself, "What shall I do now? My master is taking away my job. I'm not strong enough to dig, and I'm ashamed to beg. I know what I'll do. When I lose my job here, people will welcome me into their houses." So he called in each of his master's debtors. He asked the first, "How much do you owe my master?" 900 gallons of olive oil, he replied. The manager told him, "Take your bill, sit down quickly, and make it 450. Then he asked the second, "How much do you owe?" 1,000 bushels of wheat. "Take your bill and make it 800, he told him. The master commended the dishonest manager because he had acted shrewdly. For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kind than they are the people of light. I tell you, use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourself, so that when it is gone, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much, and whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with very much. So if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property, who will give you property of your own? No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money." Pharisees who loved money heard all this and were sneering at Jesus. He said to them, "You are the ones who justify yourselves in the eyes of others, but God knows your hearts. What people value highly is detestable in God's sight." The law and the prophets were proclaimed until John. Since that time, the good news of the kingdom is being preached, and everyone is forcing their way into it. It is easier for heaven and earth to disappear than for one stroke of a pen to drop out of the law. Anyone who divorces his wife and marries another woman commits adultery, and the man who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. There was a rich man who was dressed in purple and fine linen and lived in luxury every day, and at his gate laid a beggar named Lazarus, covered with sores and longing to eat what fell from the rich man's table. Even the dogs came and licked his sores. The time came when the beggar died, and the angels carried him to Abraham's side. The rich man was also died and was buried. In Hades, he was in torment. He looked up and saw Abraham far away, with Lazarus at his side. He called to him, "Father Abraham, have pity on me. Send Lazarus to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, because I'm in agony in this fire." But Abraham's reply, "Son, remember that in your lifetime you received good things, while Lazarus received bad. But now he is comforted here, and you are in agony. And beside all this, between us and you is a great chasm that has been set in place, so that those who want to go from here to you cannot, or no one can come over from there to us." He answered, I beg you, Father, send Lazarus to tell my family, for I have 5 brothers. Let them be warned, so that they will not also come to this place of torment." Abraham replied, "They have Moses and the prophets. Let them listen to them." "No, Father Abraham," he said, "but if someone from the dead goes to tell them, they will repent." He said to him, If they do not listen to Moses and the prophets, they will not be convinced even by someone rising from the dead. Chapter 16 of Luke, here on God's Love Live. And I know that's an excruciatingly short video for a Saturday, but all I wanted to do was read Luke 16. Tune in tomorrow, probably around the same time. 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. We'll do our chapter 17 of Luke. We're already 17 chapters into Luke, moving rapidly towards the end of our Luke reading. Also reading Isaiah each day. I guess we could read that too, right? Yeah. I've been reading Isaiah 61. Oh, excuse me. I've been reading Isaiah 61 every day. Just kind of sitting back and seeing if I can see anything new in it each day. So I'd love for you guys to share with me what you see as you're reading, whether it's in the Luke readings, whether it's in the Isaiah reading. Starting on Monday, we're going to start studying from Isaiah chapter 1. You can get a little prepared for that by reading Isaiah chapter 1, because we'll at least be working on that one on Monday. Be talking about the background. Isaiah, the first of the biblical books of prophecy. Isaiah, who is believed to be the author, was known in the royal court of the southern kingdom of Judah. Like Moses, he was well educated. He had a prophetess wife and at least 2 sons. As a prophet and a writer, he is mentioned in the historical record of Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, chapter 26, verse 22. Isaiah is quoted in the New Testament more than any other Old Testament prophet. And in Hebrew, Isaiah means Yahweh is salvation. Isaiah lived during the time of the divided kingdoms of Israel and Judah. During his lifetime, the northern kingdom of Israel fell over to the Assyrians. Isaiah's ministry extended over the reign of 5 Judean kings, starting at 740 BC at the end of Uzziah's reign, and through the reigns of Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, and ending in about 680 BC during the reign of Manasseh. Traditions supported by Hebrews 11:37 say that Isaiah was killed, sawed in two by King Manasseh. So there you go. That's our little chat about Isaiah. Now, please, thank you for tuning in for this reading of Luke.